The history of gaming is full of great titles that will be remembered as the greatest games of their time. But when it comes to first person shooters on the list, few come close to Halo Reach. Halo Reach came out in 2010, a full 3 years after Halo 3, which is considered by many to be the best game in the Halo franchise. It's a spin off that follows the story of Noble Team, specifically of Noble 6, a Spartan 3 that is known for being a lone wolf, which ties in perfectly with the final mission of the game. The first campaign mission is Noble Six's introduction to Noble Team, and it is also Noble Team's first contact with Covenant forces on the planet Reach. Upon making contact with Covenant forces, Noble Team is tasked with executing Winter contingency protocols, which call for a military response to the Covenant as well as an evacuation of civilians. The campaign storytelling is so well done that it, in my opinion, easily rivals Halo CE's campaign. For seasoned Halo players, we went into the campaign knowing that Noble Team was facing certain doom, and the campaign did a good job at making us feel that sense of doom, with members of Noble Team dying one at a time throughout the game. The game then draws to a close with your character Noble Six making a heroic last stand, which allowed the Pillar of Autumn to escape, with the Master Chief on board. In the original Halo games, it was hard to grasp just how close humanity was to losing the Human Covenant War because of the fact that we played as Master Chief. I mean, the guy is literally him. But in Halo Reach, you played as one of the many Spartans that died defending humanity, and the game does a great job at showing us why so many Spartans died during the war. Part of what made Halo Reach so great was its ability to build upon the original Halo games while simultaneously revolutionizing the Halo multiplayer experience. Armor abilities were first introduced in Halo Reach, building upon the idea of equipment pieces. While they were eventually phased out in later games, they made for such a unique gaming experience. I mean, personally, as someone who played a lot of big team battle back in the day, the satisfaction of armor locking against a ghost speeding towards you and having it blow up on you is hard to beat. It was just such a unique experience. And for those who preferred a more passive playstyle, having active camouflage while taking the high ground with a sniper was just so strong and so hard to beat. I mean, unless the enemy team had a sniper player of their own, you had free reign over the open areas. Assassinations were also introduced in Reach. This was a very cool animation that you would trigger whenever you melee attacked an enemy from behind, instead of getting the standard beatdown that previous Halo games had. This feature also brought with it some cool new medals that were pretty tough to get. If you killed an enemy player that was assassinating a teammate, you would get the very rewarding Showstopper medal. And if you killed an enemy player that was being assassinated by a teammate, you would get the Yoink medal, which for some reason it was just so rewarding to get this medal. Halo Reach featured all of the classic multiplayer game modes, including Infection, with many believing Reach had the best Infection game mode and maps. I mean, let's be honest, some of those maps had some crazy spots for you to climb up to. Reach was also full of community made maps and classic maps like Sanctuary, The Pit, Returning, thanks to Forge. Perhaps one of the best things about Reach's multiplayer is it comes from a time before skill based matchmaking. So, whenever you went into a game, you had no clue if you were going to have an inheritor absolutely stomping on you and your team, or if you were going to be the one doing the stomping. While many people prefer the skill based matchmaking of today, something about the chaos of the days of old was just so iconic and hard to beat. Halo Reach was also the second game to feature the fan favorite game mode Firefight. In this game mode, you and a max of three other teammates would be put in a survival situation with limited health packs and lives while facing a never ending onslaught of Covenant forces. This game mode was first introduced in Halo 3 ODST. This was Bungie's answer to Gears of War Horde mode and Call of Duty Zombies. I personally remember playing this game mode late at night with my buddies whenever we just wanted something casual to play while chatting. The developers even released DLC maps for this game mode, which were honestly all great. Aside from the incredible campaign and great multiplayer that Halo Reach provided, it also had such a strong community and great competitive scene. It wasn't uncommon to go into the MOG playlist and come across an enemy team of all pro players, or even more often, a full team from a clan. Frag Nation and Game Battles tournaments were also incredibly popular in the days of Reach. Tournaments with cash prizes were running practically every weekend. If you weren't into the competitive scene, the custom games on Halo Reach were incredible, with games like Duck Hunt, Crash Up Derby, Jenga, and more being played constantly by members of the community. If you were someone who played custom games with randoms at one point, it was pretty standard to friend request each other, and the next time one of you got into a custom game lobby, you would send invites to everyone you had on your friend list that liked playing custom games. This made it incredibly easy to get into custom games. Halo Reach also had some incredible armor customization options, with helmet effects being a fan favorite. Players who purchased the legendary version of the game got a flaming helmet effect that was honestly just so cool and paired well with the Inheritor helmet. Armor customization is still very much around, but something about the level of detail and the wide variety you had to pick from just made it, in my opinion, the best armor customization. All in all, there isn't really one specific thing that made Halo Reach so great. It was a variety of factors that culminated in what became Bungie's farewell to the Halo franchise.